Hello and welcome everyone to the stream. If anybody's watching, feel free to leave a comment. Today we're going to have a rather short stream. We're going to go over some of the changes on Anchor, some of the changes on Agave, but most of all, just talk about like some things to look out for next week at Accelerate. So yeah, if anybody is here, feel free to say hi. Happy to chat, and we can get started in just a minute. For those that don't know me, happen to just end up on this stream, my name is Jacob Creech. I do developer relations here at Solana Foundation. This is a stream that I do weekly on Fridays. It is called the Solana Changelog. What it is we go over the changes week by week of what's happening new on Solana, or what is a change that you should be watching out for as a developer for the future, so that you know and are prepared for new upcoming changes. Without further ado, let me get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to get going. All right. So the first thing on the docket today is what's called SIMD 164. This one's not approved yet, but it's something that you should definitely look out for if you are someone who uses Extend Program, especially if you use Extend Programmed in a, let's say within a program. Say you have a PDA that is the authority to extend itself. So this SIMD, it's SIMD 164. What it does is it adds a new instruction to what is this? Loader v3, yes, to Loader v3 called extend program checked. So what this does is it does the exact same thing as extended program. However, it's not permissionless. So what it does is it makes sure or requires you to have the authority to upgrade the program in order to extend it. This is quite different than what it is today. So it is just a new instruction. Now note, this instruction will replace the current extend program instruction. You won't see people using the old instruction, and what you'll end up having is, if you want to extend your program, you will have to update to the latest CLI, which will have this extend program checked instruction usage in it. All right, cool. And then if we look at looking more into what this change means, this is a commit on how to allow extend program checked in CPI. So if you do have a program that uses extend program as an instruction within your program, or your authority to that is, let's say, is a PDA off your program, you will have to update to use this one instead of the old one. And it looks like, hey, Ray Brando, good to see you. But yeah, definitely check this out. Be very aware that this is coming out, and don't get caught without having updated, because that could hurt you in the long run. Cool. And then, by the way, I know that we're on Twitter, we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube. If you are interested in leaving a comment or chatting with me, you can just click into the live stream and chat. I'm happy to talk with you. The next thing I kind of wanted to talk about is Anchor. So we're going to do a quick Excalidraw for this. Let's see. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the upcoming Anchor changes. I'm going to give rather rough timelines for these things. And then if you want to learn more, or you want to join the discussion as a group, we will be having this discussion next week at Accelerate, I believe on Tuesday, if I remember correctly. So you can join us at Accelerate, the conference in New York City. I believe it's at like 3:30 or something. But yeah, we will be discussing Anchor changes. But anyways, so where we are now, so this is now, where we are now is we have Anchor 0.31.1, soon to be .2, and probably like later today. And Ray Brando, I will answer your questions at the end about becoming a part of the Solana dev. Ultimately, I would just say start coding, and especially when I go into Coliseum, start coding there. But okay, now we are at 0.31.1. This is what what has been Anchor for a long time, right? 0 dot something. It's been a minor version. What we're seeing is in the near future, probably a September time frame, we're going to be at a 1.0. Now, you might ask, what's in that 1.0? What are the changes that we can expect to see in 1.0? 1.0 will have a number of new changes. Namely, it will be removing dead code. So there's a lot of code, a lot of tech debt that existed in Anchor throughout all the previous minor versions that is just sitting there, sometimes just unused. So let's clean it up, make it easier to contribute to, and make sure that it's very simple for developers to use. Another one is we're going to move some foot guns on the accounts. So what are some foot guns on the accounts that you can remove? There is a foot gun on the accounts structure that if you have two accounts, say we have, I don't know, we have some account, we're going to call it account 1, and we have account 2, and they're both mutable. So we both set them as mutable. And the seeds to derive are, let's say it's the same thing. Let's say it's, I don't know, we'll just call it seed. What ends up happening, and this is often confusing to developers, is that you have the account 1 and account 2. They might look different, but you can actually accidentally change them both in the same code. Now, this is not common, right? Not many developers do this kind of thing, but it can happen. So remove foot guns, remove that type of thing. All right, let's go with some more things that are happening in Anchor V1. So Anchor V1, we're probably going to make sure that declare program is better supported. I know that there's been some issues with like some changes on declare program. We're going to make sure they're supported. And then ultimately it's just like other hardening. It's like just getting ready for a major version, right? I'll have a longer list of V1 and a issue that I should be able to post later today. But ultimately, you can join the discussion. Feel free to ping me or join the discussion on GitHub on V1. All right, now let's talk about 2.0. This is the more interesting version that's coming up pretty soon. Is that we have Anchor 2.0 probably on the horizon of what do we want to do with it? Now, Anchor 2.0 is going to be a complete rewrite, or currently staged to be a complete rewrite. So there's a bunch of different changes on Anchor. How do we make it better? So for some of them, it's just like there's very big breaking changes, right? So let's go look at an example of one. So if I go pull up the Anchor repo right now, and let's go over the issues. So if we look at, I believe it's, where is manuals? Here we go. All right, cool. So this is one that is a very good change to have, right? What it is basically saying is we should pad the zeros when the account shrinks so that you have so you don't run into issues with, what is it? Record this digitalization. Okay, so to avoid issues with adding new fields on your accounts. So this is it's a pretty big deal. However, it's such a big change that we can't possibly put this in 1.0. And not only that, we can't possibly do that on like one of these major breaking change minor versions because it changes the way the accounts are structured. So this would be a V2 feature, not for V1 or one of these minor versions. There's plenty of other ones that are coming out that we're trying to fix. Another one that is very important is account migration. How do you properly support account migration? So with that, what I mean by account migration is, say we have program 1, and it has some PDA, and that PDA has some money attached to it, right? Or has authority to some money. How do we then say we have another program that we want to upgrade to. It has so many better capabilities. We want to upgrade to this. How do we make, pardon me, how do we make this PDA go from this program to the other one? This is not something that we can do with Anchor V1. This is something I would love to solve in Anchor V2. And I want to create a discussion of like, what kind of features do you want to see in a complete rewrite? Another one that we will see along with V2 is a lot of people have been using Pinocchio, right? So how can we optimize Anchor V2 in order to utilize all of the benefits that Pinocchio gives you? This is another one we'll see. We'll add to it, and we will see what happens. Okay, so if you're more interested in what are the upcoming in V2, please come to there's an Anchor. Let's just go to it. There's going to be an Anchor discussion at Accelerate next week. So let's see. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different events. I will post it as a link to this, and what I would recommend is go to it, join discussion. Please tell me what you want to see in V2, and not only that, post it on GitHub. Would love to understand what you would like to see in V2. All right, cool. So another thing to mention on today's changelog is the Coliseum Breakout Hackathon. Today is the last day to submit your applications for it. So why is this important? So if you are a developer within the Solana ecosystem, I highly recommend you build and deploy something for Breakout. What can happen is this is a time for opportunity. This is a time that you can actually potentially make a name for yourself within the developer ecosystem. I know it's the last day, but if you're thinking, oh, I have something kind of finished and I'm not quite there, submit it. Complete it as much as possible today. Submit it, and ultimately, here's some tips on actually creating a good deck or good pitch. Be very short. Don't make it incredibly long. They get thousands of submissions for the judges to review. If you're very long, there's unlikely that the judge will be able to judge you completely. Make sure you're short, to the point. I would recommend, if you have slides, just a few slides. Be Don't include like roadmaps and stuff, but include vision. Make sure people understand where are you going, so that people can understand what would they like to see, and what's your vision for the product. How do you become the most product market fit, or the actually join like the whole internet capital markets and improve how finance is done with blockchain. Like, do this, submit it to Breakout, be short and to the point. I wish you best of luck. I'm looking forward to the submissions that come through this. And then finally, before I answer some questions that people had in the chat, uh, if you haven't already applied for Accelerate Conference, please do so already. I would very much like to see y'all next week. So what is the Accelerate Conference, you might ask? Accelerate Conference is probably US's best crypto conference that you will find. If you go there, you will learn about the leading edge in crypto, how people are building for the future of finance with blockchain and using Solana. This is a chance to also meet with a bunch of different developers, some of the best developers in the world, to be perfectly honest, and an opportunity for you to make a name for yourself and potentially start a new career. I would highly recommend going to it. I hope to see you there. Uh, Definitely get tickets. Hope to see you in New York City next week. All right, so it looks like there's some questions in the chat. So we have the first question by Ray Brando, and I know that Solana Fellowship is the other one. All right, so first question by Ray Brando. How to be part of Solana Dev? So what I would recommend is, there's kind of two steps that I would recommend for you. Is first, you would go to solana.com/docs, start going through the quick start. This is probably the easiest, most important thing that you can do to get started. Just go through the quick start, build the project, and push it to GitHub. It'll teach you the basics of what you need to know to get started building on Solana. Another question that someone else had is, I think LSILIT, you had something about a Solana fellowship. If you are a student, There is a fellowship for being done by Solana U. So if we go to Twitter and I go find Solana U, Solana U does have a fellowship for going to Accelerate. Let's see if I can find it real quick. It's not, there we go. There will be, there's a, so, oh, it looks like they've already picked their choices. But yeah, definitely go talk to the different students there. They will be running different things at Solana U. All right, cool. So if there isn't anything else, let me just click this button over here real quick. All right, well, if there isn't anything else, I hope to see everyone at Solana's Accelerate conference next week. This was the Solana Changelog. Please join me. We'll see if we can run it next week at the actual conference, but I will be running this every week as a live stream. This is just going through the developer changes that you should know about week by week. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining. I will see you.